working, so we'll leave that alone. And how do you feel about if I wanted to share a slide?
You can do that.
Okay. I just wanted to give my thank yous and show the sponsors. That was it.
God said, oh, here we are. See, we up here talking and all that stuff. And that's what it's all about. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. How's everybody doing? It's fine. Friday morning, which is going to get cold, everybody. That front is making its way through the hill country. It hit us, and let me tell you, you will know when it hit because it's bringing cold weather as soon as it hit. So don't grab your jacket, grab your coat. But let me tell you something. What was heating up last Sunday, from I could not make it, but I got so many people tell me they went out there to see this young lady, Patricia. They went to go see her with her Family Feud, Jeopardy, all that stuff going on. Sharon Bell Moses was out there, along with Majestic One. They said,
Yes.
Ron, you missed it. I said, but y'all my eyes and ears if I can't make anything. And so they were telling me how much fun they had. And so, Patricia, let us know what happened last Sunday. Let the callers and not callers, the listeners know what's going
Mhm.
on.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much, Mr. Gordon, for allowing us to use this platform to spread this word. It was so awesome. It was epic. Like I said, it was epic. It was fun. Like I sent you the receipts. Guys, I sent them receipts, so it's just not me talking. I got nothing but rave reviews about how much fun they had, how they were learning at the same time. We had ages, it was from ages 13 and up, and we had actually a little younger than age 13, and they were all participating. And in addition to, I think I saw on the sign-in sheet someone as old as 70 something. So we
Wow.
truly had all ages, and we kept them in the room. That was the beautiful part. When you walked in, it was great energy. You went around, you picked a game or several games on which you chose to go to, and they were all financial driven. Like everything was driven, asking questions and just opening your mind to everything about finances from beginning to advance. And then the main event was the Price is Right. And so we
Yes.
had four of those games that we played, and it was exactly what I knew. Like I just could just thank God first. I give God all his praises. He just brought this creativity out of me. And I mean everything was DIY. And once everyone saw the volunteers and my helpers and the Empower Hub team, once they saw my vision, I mean, from that point on, it just kept going up and soaring. From Wheel of Fortunes, we actually had someone help cut out the wheel. Lindsay and Maxine Jackson, they helped cut out the wheel for me. And then all the other volunteers that helped draw the information on there just made it so realistic and engaging. And even I had hosts for each individual game, and it was great. And tons of prizes. So y'all missed tons of
Oh
prizes.
man, you save one prize for me. I'm just kidding.
Yes, I have some for you.
When we first started talking, I was telling somebody the story behind how we met.
Mhm.
Actually, we met years ago at Ball Hogs on Barbecue, and
Yes.
this young lady held on to my phone number. I was impressed, and she got a hold of me, and we started talking. And one thing led to another. Got her on the show, I think, a couple of times already. And
Hmm.
we were talking. She was talking about what she was doing, and to listen to her talk on the phone, you could hear the passion in her voice. You could just hear this is something she wanted to do. And then I met up with her at the send off, or
Press release.
what was it?
The press release.
The press
Dream Week press
release
release.
for Dream Week. She come around the
Hmm.
corner. She started waving at me. It took a minute for me to realize who you were because I had remember years ago when I seen you. And if I'm
Hmm.
right, you had a different hairstyle too.
Yes, all the time.
And
I get
so,
used to
yeah, so
it.
it took me a minute, but once that was established, it was game on.
Oh,
And
yes.
you were telling me about what you were doing and the things you want to do. And I said, let me get you on the show so it helps spread the word. Let me spread the word to my people. They can spread the word. And it came to being. But one
Yeah.
question I got to ask you, one thing I got to ask you, I'm curious about Jeopardy. How did that go and what did you do with Jeopardy?
Actually, it's we had, two games planned where, like with Jeopardy, 100, 200, 500, questions, you pick one. And when I heard the noise, because again, I was everywhere, but I heard the crowds, they were screaming out, what is bank account? What is income? So it was just wonderful, the questions that we catered to that. And most importantly, even to Family Feud. I mean, Shawnee, she did a good job with Family Feud. Even with Jeopardy, Anthony, he did a great job. Those were the hosts for those specific games. So yes, it was wonderful. I mean, again, I know me myself. I sat down on the couch with my great aunt and watched a lot of these shows. And
Mm-hmm.
and Jeopardy would be one of those ones where I'd be like,
Right.
those and all. But when I made it fun with the financial questions, I think it hit home and it just really made everyone want to play it.
You know, if I was there, I'd have shouted out one thing, probably got the whole
But
crowd quiet. I'd have said, how does it feel to be broke? And
oh,
get the reaction from the crowd because
yes,
this is what it's all about, what you're doing, not to be
yes,
broke. How to
yes,
plan
yes.
ahead. I'd have said something like that just to see what would have happened. You know, I would just imagine the looks on people's faces saying, what is he talking about being broke? All of y'all in this room has been broke one time
Yes.
where you didn't know where you're going to get your next meal from, where you're going to live
Hmm.
at. We all experienced that. And what Patricia is bringing you, you don't have to be like that if you start watching your finances.
Yes.
So that was the whole thing about this, wasn't it?
Yes, that's the whole thing. I One thing about me is that I love helping. Like you said, I've always loved helping. All 20 years of working with Child Protective Services, volunteering with so many different nonprofits, for profits, everyone getting over 200 people registered to vote. I've always been about educating the community. I love that I'm able to step out with our organization Empower Hub and really continue to talk about Money Habits Matters. These are our new shirts now,
Okay.
donated by Danielle, which I love. And then she also gave me, I said I was going to stand by.
Empowered Hub.
So we
Yes.
love colors and we love all of that. So Empower Hub, our board and our team decided that, let's continue to educate in a financial way. So, and with financial literacy as many of the things that we also do. But I created a book. It's called The Journal to Budget Success, and I'll put the link in this video. But that is just the most simplest way of just ensuring that we know our money.
Mm-hmm.
If we do not know how much money we're bringing in, then we can't identify how much we need to save. And if we don't know how much we're bringing in, then we're not identifying and we're not being realistic about where we're at right this moment. All of us want to be millionaires, thousandaires, whatever we want to be. But in order to know how to get there, and in order to not fall victim to where you are going to be possibly broke, is you need to manage your money and you
Yeah.
need to do it regularly. My mentor always taught me, Phyllis Hollywood, I have to give her credit for sure. She's always taught me that you have to spend at least 4 to 5 hours a week on your money. Now and
Right.
again, in today's world, what does that look like? That looks like us doing more than just looking at our bank statement to see how much is in there, because you're allowing the bank to manage your money. So
Yeah.
then you now need to get to pen and piece of paper, and that's what my book shows. Journal to Budget Success, that's sold on Amazon. Is it teaches you how to write down your expenses, write down your income, and then I even have some blank spaces of some other doodads that we do all the time. A lot of people have pets. A lot of people have pets, and pets are very expensive.
Oh,
That's your
yes.
second family member.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you probably don't even calculate all the different things that you do for your pet. In addition to with your own family, and then of course it's all foodies. Everybody's foodies out here, and all
Yeah.
these restaurants calling our names with the aroma, and we continue to spend our money that way. And if we are not managing our money, are not mindful of our spending, then these things are going to hurt us as a community. And as we're moving forward, when we're going into a whole different world with so many different distractions, you cannot get distracted about your income,
No,
about the
no.
financial economy.
Let me tell you something I do. I cheat. I'm gonna let you know.
Okay.
I'm gonna let you know the reason why I cheat. If I go to a restaurant and the
Hmm.
food is real good, I will come home and Google it and Google the
Yes.
recipe and
Yes.
go out and buy all that stuff and duplicate what they had. So I
Yeah.
say, if I'm in the mood for something, and I say, hey, I got that recipe down somewhere because
Hmm.
I have a spice cabinet. That's all it is. Just spices up there, and
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
don't put no salt in my food whatsoever. The
That's great.
spices take care of it. So that's
Yes.
one way
Yes.
of me saving money. I may come out to your restaurant a couple of times and have a
Yes.
couple of meals and find out what tickled my fancy. And I'll turn
Hmm.
around and I'll look for that recipe because it's real easy to do, everybody.
Yes.
The only downside of that is you have to spend that money to buy those spices. And
Yes.
sometimes certain spices is not cheap, but look on the long
Hmm.
run. Once you
Hmm.
get it, spices almost last forever.
They
You
do.
know, and once you get it, you set. You could cook it any type, any kind of way, or
Yes.
whatever you want to do because you got it there already. So
Yes. Yes.
I'm leading up to my question. Is this try to be financial stable and secure? Sometimes you have to spend money to make money, especially if you got your own business. But you
Yes.
do not have to overspend. You could
Hmm.
get a little bit at a time and then turn around when you run out, do it again. Then when you get enough money, you could buy a supply that may last you a month, maybe 2 months. But
Hmm.
I watch so many businesses that will get out there and buy the whole moon and everything, and in 3 months they
Yes.
closed.
That part.
All because they didn't manage the money.
Yes, that's so correct. I mean, from using Facebook marketplaces, if you notice how thrifting had became so popular, these things were slowly coming about. Goodwill. First people, oh, I'm not going there. Now, of course, what's happening? The malls are shutting down, stores are closing. Now they're becoming more thrifts. Like right this coming Saturday, I saw advertised where now it's called $15. You get a bag and you get to fill up the whole bag for $15. I mean, so people are coming up with so many creative ways on how to shop and save money. And now it seems like that stigma is gone. You know,
Yes.
now that stigma is gone because before most people wouldn't even shop at a Goodwill or a Texas Thrift is one of my favorites. Now again, now because they know we're shopping there more, they're also now starting to raise the prices. Because now that everybody's doing it, I'm noticing they almost giving me Walmart and Mason prices.
Yeah.
But for the most part, those are those things that we need to save. Being creative, like you said, coming home and Googling and YouTubing those meals that you actually like. Yes, it takes a little time, but just like everything, once you get comfortable with it, that time shortens. And like you said, even with the seasonings, I find Dollar Tree to be with deep seasonings because basically you're mainly until you unless I need to taste your cooking chef, but the main spices that you need for the most part is garlic powder, onion powder, and so, like you said, don't use that much salt because, again, high blood pressure is not hereditary, it's
Mm-hmm.
inherited by the recipes. And so I say all that to say, on so many ways, one of the main things that I see here in San Antonio for sure, and this is all around, but here we will go out and eat really quick.
Yes.
And then people will later on, and I watch them. They keep the receipt, right? They don't get the receipt. So now the stores are keeping the receipt. You're using the card. How are you managing how much you spent that week? You're estimating that you
Yeah.
spent it, and I guarantee you your estimation is less than what you truly spent. I guarantee you.
And
Because
one,
they always get you at the register.
oh yeah,
Well, you
but
want to add this, you
want
want
to
to
add
add that.
that. That's what. And one thing I want to tell everybody when you mentioned about receipts, when they have tip on there and you don't tip,
Mm,
don't leave it blank.
don't leave it
Put a
blank.
zero on there and then that's it. Because I discovered that they will put a tip on there for you. And
Yes, they
so
sure will.
please don't leave that thing that said tip empty. Put
Yeah.
something in
Mm.
it.
A zero and a line across,
Yes.
or learn to. I'm so happy you mentioned that because that just came up recently. And I believe most men, they'll like my boyfriend, he'll always slide the receipt over to me and be like, "You leave the tip." But then he also jokes with me like, "You get a tip, you get a tip." So it's so funny. I because he knows that's what I tip people. I
Yeah.
do tip for service, you know, but it is one of those uncomfortable things that I think most people don't do and or they're not aware of. And what I noticed about tipping lately too, Ron, is that if you notice the waitress, now they before they'll give you the paper and walk away. Now if you're tipping on that device, the waitress is standing right there. And do you know the tips already start at 18%?
I
You do
know.
not have to tip them 18%.
No. I put
Now they
custom.
can.
I hit custom on mine and give what
That
I
part.
felt you should get. You
Yes,
know, and
yes.
something at 18, that's crazy. Now, for instance, you know what's also crazy? If you
Mhm,
spend, let's say $12, I'm throwing that out there. Why you gonna put an 18% tip on 12? No.
mhm.
That's almost as much as you paid for the meal.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'm sorry, but
So
I tip according. This is my philosophy of tipping.
mhm.
I heard this a long time ago. I look at the taxes and I double the tax. That's how
Mm.
I tip. So if the tax
Okay.
is $3 something, you're getting a
Yes.
$6 tip.
Okay. All
That's
right.
how I do it. I learned that a long time ago.
Who taught you that?
I for, I can't remember who taught me that, but they told me, Ron, double the tax, and that's good enough for a tip.
That's the first time I heard that. I
Yeah.
was always told to take the price of the of the meal, and then the bill, and then times that by the 15%, 1.15,
Mm-hmm.
0.10, however you want. Because again, I'm very basic with people. I do not like to assume that people even know percentages
Right.
because sometimes people don't. So, like for example, my son, he just went out to eat and he used a credit card. I'm able to see his expenses. And so Capital One was concerned. Capital One saw that he had $15.77 meal and he tipped 32%. It was $5. And so I went and texted him with Capital One. I screenshot with Capital One because anybody ever heard any of these or they hear me talk.
Yeah.
Capital One is my family member, accountant, slash my protector, my security,
Yeah.
security guard. And that's why I use Capital One because I do love that they push that. They ensure like, wait a minute, you in here? You sure that this is what you wanted to do? And then and then you say, okay, yes. And then they'll be like, nope, let's challenge that. And immediately they'll go ahead and they'll get to work. All while I'm still working and going about my day. So, of course, if you want to know more about those things, you should attend my financial literacy every third Tuesday of the month. We can put that link down as well. I do it via Zoom. But these are some of those things we talk about. And one of those topics I wanted to talk about was tipping. And so I noticed that my son, he's generous. He probably had really great service. He had a good day that was after the event. So maybe he wanted everyone to get some money, right? So that's great. So, but he did actually tip that $5. But I do love, to your point, that Capital One wanted to question that because that is a going concern that
Yes.
people are leaving that area blank and that the waitresses or waiters are doing that. And of course, the owner of the establishments don't always know. So if you
Mm-hmm.
don't report, they don't know.
Exactly. Cause I mean, matter of fact, when I go to a restaurant and the service is outstanding, I will tell
Hmm.
that waitress, "Can I see your manager?" And
Yes.
they get all like, "Oh, what did I do wrong? What did I do?" Because so many people are throwing negatives. This wasn't right. This wasn't this. This wasn't that. And I came back and said, "You have an excellent waitress right here. She did an
Hmm.
excellent job. I just want to commend.
Yes.
I just want to commend her in front of the management to let him know or let her know
Yes.
that she
Yes.
done a great job." We don't get
Yes.
that all the time. We always negative. My wife just sit down there and she look at me when I say I like to see the manager. And the first time I did that, she looked at me like nothing is wrong. You know how you look at somebody and they panic. Okay, what is he going to say? Of course, my wife know what I'm gonna say anyway because I just say
Yeah.
it. So
Uh-huh.
I went and told the management that, and that girl lit up like a Christmas tree. Then she came back and said, "That is the first compliment somebody ever gave me." I said, "You ought to get more."
Oh,
So that's how I look at things. Because you know what? They're in the service industry. They deal with knuckleheads all the time.
yes,
But
yes,
let's try something positive every once in a while. Say it again. So we go back out there again. She's the waitress out there again. She made
yes.
sure I sat at her table.
Awesome, awesome. I
So,
love that. And we have to pay that forward in everything. But most importantly, I want us to also be mindful that, too, you too, don't go out if you can't, because this is some of the complaints that waitress and waiters express. People come out to spend about $80 or $60 worth of food to leave a dollar tip.
yeah.
Like, come on. Like, calculate that in.
Mm-hmm.
Understand that you or someone's doing a service, like you mentioned, something that you don't want to do right now. Go in the kitchen, cook, clean, wash the
Right.
dishes, prep, go get the food. So, and I understand you as a consumer. Hey, I'm here spending my money. Prices shouldn't be this high. I get it, but always think from all the expenses from everyone's angle. So
Mm-hmm.
the waitresses, they still get about a dollar, $2 an hour, so they do rely on their tips.
Right.
So, and a lot of the mishaps is not always their fault. It's the kitchen. It's this. It's the
Mm-hmm.
establishment. So just give people grace. And if you are
Yes.
such a critic like that, start cooking at
Oh,
home.
oh, did you touch a nerve on that one? Because that is my pet peeve. I know some people personally, they complain every time they get their food, no matter what,
Yes.
it is not right. So one time I heard somebody complaining, we're sitting at a table, about eight of us. Two of them just
Hmm.
complain, well, I don't like this, I didn't like that. And I'm eating, I jumped up and I said, you know what? You could always go home and cook. And then everybody turned around and looked at me because I'll say it. I said, I've been going out with y'all for several years. I have not seen one meal y'all said that was good. So if it's really that bad, why go out
Mhm.
and eat? Go home and cook your
Yes.
own damn self. That's what I said. Go home and cook your own self and then criticize your cooking. And
Yes.
then I
Yes.
found out a lot of them complain because they want something free.
That part.
Now you better watch it. Somebody out there cooking your food. I was sitting at the table with
Hmm.
somebody and said, man, don't give them a hard time. They spitting in our food right now. But there are people out there that give waitress and waiters a hard time. And
A
there's nothing
hard
wrong with
time.
the food.
No. They just want
Man.
that free. And then
Yeah.
the managers, they'll come back. I mean, a lot of these things are, again, trained. That's
Mm-hmm.
why we're trying to recondition you. Empower Hub and teaming with all our sponsors and our community leaders, community services out here that talked about. We had Allison from Mutual Omaha who had a table. We had Project Quest, who I'm a career coach who work with them, and we talk about how you can save and how we can help pay for your children or even
Mm-hmm.
adults who change careers, how we can pay for your education. These are those ways that can help you put some of that money to the side and
Yeah.
pay, they can pay for these things. They can help you grow your money. So now when you're going out to the restaurant, you're not doing these little tricks and trades and
Right.
all these bad habits to try to get what you want. You can now afford those things. And trust me, it feels so much better when you can literally say, hey, this service has been great and I'm gonna tip you accordingly. Or this service has been bad. I'm still going to tip you and I'm also going to acknowledge that it's not, and I'm going to look for improvement. If not, I'm just not going to come because every restaurant out there is not doing the best either. So, but
Yeah.
not,
I
not to
remember
shoot all of them down.
I remember one I went out to and I ordered a meatloaf. And I take a bite of meatloaf. I'm telling you right now, Patricia, that was the nastiest meatloaf I ever tasted. So I turned around the waiter and I said, I can't eat this. So what's that?
Hmm.
No, it's nasty. I said it just
Yes.
like that. My wife sitting
Hmm.
across from me, and she know I
Hmm.
don't complain too much. If it's tolerable, I will eat it and let I
Okay.
let it, no. But this is just plain outright nasty. And I sit in front of the waiter, and then the manager came out and said, what's wrong with our meatloaf? I said, there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing right with it. I said, the flavor, the taste, it didn't taste like meatloaf. And so he said, so what do you want us to do? Take it off? I'm not paying for it. He said, no, sir. You bit into it. You're gonna pay. I said, no, I'm not. I said, I am not paying for something that I don't like. Well, can
Mm-hmm.
we give you something else different? I said, nope, I'm done. And
Mm-hmm.
my wife continued eating. I ate the bread and all that stuff and everything. But sometimes you gotta put your foot down. If it's wrong, it's wrong, and
Yes.
I will say it.
Yes.
And that was the only time I ever talked about some food being that bad, and it was that
Mm-hmm.
bad. It takes a lot for me to say that food was bad.
I'm so proud of you because I did, again, when you are about your money, you also defend your money.
Mm-hmm.
When you know your money, this is why it always come back to managing your money properly. Because when you manage your money, you don't feel bad that you're like saying, no, this is where I'm not going to invest my money
Right.
into unless it's going to give me the service that I am looking for. Other than that, let me go to another one because like I always explain to everyone, this is not a monopoly. Yes, some places are super good and but there's somewhere else better also as well. So companies have to be mindful of that. And that's why sitting down, identifying how much you bring in and your expenses can really help you identify first, should you even be out eating?
Yeah.
Second, now that you're out eating, can you go to the places that you feel offer that quality, your quality that pertains to you? Some people like McDonald's, they're good with that. I used to. I don't really care for McDonald's anymore for so many different reasons. But
Mm-hmm.
again, I also like to thank McDonald's for sponsoring our event.
Yeah.
Why? Because our youth and other people love McDonald's. I still eat a McDonald's. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to knock them at all. Probably wasn't the right way to mix it, but for the most part, McDonald's is, if McDonald's is one person's level, then you can also go to Wendy's. You can go to churches. So it all the different depends on all the different restaurants you want to go to. To
Now,
each his own.
since you bring that up, that's a good segue. If I can really bring up right now, I turned around one time years ago. I started adding up what I was spending weekly on fast food, and I discovered I was spending $50 to $60 a week on fast food. So I turned around and bought $50 to $60 worth of groceries for lunch,
Mm-hmm.
and the groceries I bought, I fed myself for a whole month. So I
See,
saved, let me see, $240 if my
yes, you
math
did.
is right. So I
That's right.
saved that by just cutting back on that. So how can we get people to understand? Should they write down everything that they buy that's fast food, write it down for a whole week or a month, and see where the money is compared to what they could buy groceries and fulfill the same thing? So what do you think about that?
Definitely. My book, Journal of Budget Success, has an area at the bottom each month that tells you that where you're able to log in from your lunch to your breakfast, even to your drinks. Because a lot of us go to networking events, and even if we have something to eat, we also tend to maybe buy a drink. Drinks can cost between 10 to 18 to $20. And if you now see your friend there, you spend a drink, you buy a drink for them as well. Before you know it, you're walking away with the drink tab about $60, $70. Now we already know that, of course, now drinks is a little different because you can't technically bring them into the locations. Some people
Right.
pregame, but however, to go to the food perspective. Yes, it's always good to write down everything that you're spending on for eating because that is one of your biggest expenses and it helps you see. Yes, when you go to the grocery store, you will probably spend between 100, depending on your number, your family household, you'll probably spend about $100 to 200 a week. And and then some people do that in addition to still going out. So they'll still have food at home and then they'll be going out eating. So yes, you would want to see the two. And so let's just go back at least 2 months. I always tell people to go to their bank card and then just go line by line from, let's just say that we take December. December 1st to December 31st, you can filter that out of your bank and you actually start writing down on a piece of paper or write down in my journal book what you've been spending it on. And like you said, it'll probably come to probably about $200. And then you realize, okay, where was I eating at more frequently? And like you said, you steal some of those meals, start to mimic some of those things, or just go to old school, making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I was just speaking to a few coworkers where they decided that they're going to bring their lunch in Monday through Thursday and eat out on Fridays. So it's not kind of stopping everything like because sometimes that's a reward for your work week.
Yes.
So I'm not taking that away from you. But yes, identifying and knowing how much is your groceries and how much are you spending out is a big, big, major part of managing your money because that can help you identify. Let's just say you set for a goal this year that I'm gonna save $5,000. Well, I guarantee you, you can get $100 of that at least once a month from your
Hmm.
if you are avid eating foodie who likes to eat out all the time.
Yeah.
Because you have some foodies who like to cook, but most foodies they like to try different restaurants and so forth. Also, too, you'll take advantage of some of these things. I just identified. I saw advertising that there's going to be here in San Antonio Restaurant Week. So some of those Brazilian steak homes that houses that I wanted to go to, they're actually going to have some specials for $45 versus their $70 specials.
Yes.
I can share that with you, but they have this is San Antonio's restaurant week. So all of those restaurants that you wanted to attend or you thought about attending, but you didn't want to pay the full price, here's your opportunity to budget. It goes back to what we were saying. If you manage your money and you know how much you bring in and you still have a lifestyle that you're craving for, it's not that you can't meet that. You just have to find discounted ways to go about it. But if you don't know how much your money is and you're living in this la la land of thinking that you're bringing home more than you
Yeah.
really are, and you're keeping more than you really have, then that is going to continue to get you further, further in debt. And it's going to get you in there quietly because you're out with people who probably can't afford it as well. And so here everybody's spending all this money and then going home and robbing Peter to pay Paul, so to speak.
Yeah. So let's jump into vacations.
Yes.
The reason why I'm bringing that up, everybody set a budget in
Hmm.
order to go on vacation. We have a vacation account that we use. We put money into that. So when we decide to go somewhere, we know it's money in there. But what we
Yes.
also do is we look at the city we're going in. So we got all the hotel and flight, everything booked and paid for. Now comes the part where you really spend money at is when you go out to eat and all
Mm,
that. So what we do ahead of time, we look at restaurants, we look at their
yes.
prices, we look at all that, so we don't live beyond our means. But I'm gonna tell you something. When we do that, every time we put certain money that we're gonna budget for when we go on vacation, I
Hmm.
guarantee we come back and have that money still in there because we turned around and picked places that we want to go to. Yeah, we do go out and have a good time and we try something new and different all the time. Yeah, some of the stuff is a little expensive, but you don't go on vacation all the time. But
Yes,
the
yes,
point I'm getting at is when you go on vacation, make yourself a food budget.
yes.
Make that budget right so when you get there you're not surprised and you come home and you're -$100. You know what I mean? So how critical is that going on vacation that you set up a budget for yourself?
It is extremely critical. And I'm so happy that you and your wife and that you shared that example of creating a vacation budget. Because the reason why it's so critical, most of us women, we got to get our nails done, our hair done. So there's a lot of expenses that happen even before we even go on the vacation. And we're probably doing all of this like a week or maybe 3 days in my case before the vacation, actually, before we're actually about to take off. So yes, if you cruise, they'll normally have like a vacation, eating package, a food package, and a drink package. If you are vacationing to other places, they'll normally have an all inclusive. So those are some of the things that you might want to keep in mind of. Like see how you can include the vacation, but vacation that year, but try to find places that's all inclusive that can include those meal packages. So you're not spending having to spend that much out when you're
Right.
vacationing. But if that is not the case, because that's not, ever since COVID, a lot of things has changed. So now because of that, I encourage you to put that money to the side. So you want to put, and then you also want to put transportation because a lot of us need to get to Uber and so forth. And
Mm-hmm.
that right there could be a budget within itself. So these are those things. And then most importantly, if you have a business, which they tell a lot of people today, wherever you're at, so most of us should have a business, you can possibly, depending on how you have your business set up, but you can utilize those as tax breaks to now say that it was a business meeting. Because as long as you went on that vacation and during that vacation you had something, a meeting, a conversation, something that you went to observe or check out
Mm-hmm.
that can help towards that business can also help you with that. So you know you can use your radio station anywhere now, wherever you're going,
Yeah.
as some of your meals and kickbacks. So those are some things on the way on how the rich stay rich. Because again, a lot of people are upset about Trump and how he takes advantage of the tax breaks, but these are here for us, to
Mm-hmm.
utilize to help us keep some of our coins because we get out here and we work, 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 but we don't know how to keep our money. And a
Right.
lot of us don't know how to keep our money because we're not managing it. And when we're not managing it, we're trying to play like we're a baller when we're really not. So if you really were managing your money, you would decide the more you manage your money, the more that you don't want it to just be given and taken
Mm-hmm.
out in any to anybody.
Yeah, you're right about that. Well, I had to bring
So
that up.
and in the book, my Journal of Budget Success, the 2026 version, I actually have the 52-week savings plan. And I've done
Ooh.
this many years with people where you put, each week you put that week, like so week one, 2026, you put $1. Week two, you put $2. By the end of the week, by the end of the year, the 52 weeks, you'll be put $52, which would total up to 1360 something. So that's
Okay.
something that you can just use towards your next year's vacation.
Mm-hmm. I hear you on that. And you know what? You know what I did one time? Every day I was a single parent. I would come, whatever change I had in my pocket, I throw in this
Mm-hmm.
jar. And I
Mm-hmm.
did that. So one day, the kids were with me. I said, anybody guess how much is in this jar? You get whatever you want. If we're going to go to movies, you do all that. Them poor kids
Mm-hmm.
are so far off. $13, 17, 22. I said, okay, let's go find out what it is. And if I win,
Uh-huh.
I choose to take y'all anywhere or don't take y'all anywhere at all.
Okay.
So, Dad, how much they get? About $80. No, Dad, that's too much. I brought it to the bank. They put it in their
Mm-hmm.
coin machine.
Yeah.
$83.63. And I looked
Wow.
at them and I said, and this was a month of me throwing
Mm-hmm.
coins in there.
Yes.
So that adds up. And I
Yes.
got my coin jar started all over again. And it's sitting in my office right now. And you pick it up,
Mm-hmm.
it's heavy because I get quarters and all that stuff thrown there. I probably guess what I have in there is about $50. But
Yes.
it's a habit for me to get my, see, it's very rare you have money anyway, 'cause everybody use that card. But when I get the change,
Yeah.
I throw it in there. And I was trying to teach my kids
Mm-hmm.
that's your mad money. And
Yes.
what you mean mad money? You get mad, you can spend that money. That's your money. And I said, just get that change and throw it in there. You'd be surprised. And do it for a month. You'd be
Mm-hmm.
surprised how much that accumulates.
Yes.
And then you could
Yes.
take that mad money and put it towards your savings.
Yes.
Stuff like that. So that's how I was doing things.
Well, Mr. Gordon, that's hard to do now because most people don't have cash. We don't have
Yeah.
change. I mean, they're not even giving you your pennies back at the store anymore. So it's
Yeah.
almost like when you're giving them cash, they're looking at you like, I don't even think we have this in the register. But, it's cash is always good to use. But
Yeah.
in this today's world where everything is being direct deposit, cash app to us, Zelle to us, and so forth, and that's why it's really key. I can't stress this. I'm gonna stress this throughout this whole time that we're speaking. Manage your money. The reason why is because once you manage your money, then you have to now start to identify, let me open up other accounts on where I can put that money into. So
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of that virtual way of putting it into a coin box, a penny box,
Yeah.
water jug, whatever we used to use. So that is one way that you say, okay, well, you know what, that extra $5 I'm going to send over to like the vacation club. So now your different banks have it to where you can set up, some of them let you label it savings one, savings two. Some will let you label it, my vacation club, my emergency fund, however you want to label it. And that's how you're able to transfer that money right there on the screen on your phone and transfer that money over to there. And that's the new way. Of course, the more we're detached from the physical, I think that's the reason why it's becoming so hard for people to want to manage their money. But
Yeah.
this is the most crucial time to do it because you're basically saying, I trust you, bank. I trust you, world. And how many times have we already had power outages and all
Mm-hmm.
these other different things? So we want to be mindful of we really need to know our dollars and our cents. And we have to go back to old school writing it down because as money continue to be about to be obsolete, the physical form, I think that's the only way that we're really truly going to be ahead of the game and not get taken advantage by any of the institutions that you bank with, that service with. That's the only way.
Yeah. Two things. First thing I'm gonna bring up the penny. The
Okay.
penny is worth more than a penny. So I challenge everybody to get a jar and start saving all your pennies because they're gonna be worth more than a penny. Even if it doubles, a penny worth 2 cents. And let's say you got all those pennies and you cash those pennies in for what it is, that's a good
Yes.
hunk you put in your savings. The
Yes.
other thing I want to mention is like with my bank, I have my spending limit set on there. If I go over $50, I get an alert to
Yes.
let me know. In other words, sometimes if I go over $150 on right, I will get something sent to me that I authorize this.
Yes.
And I'll go yes, and then I'm able to get it. Now,
Right.
those are some things that's put in place that a lot of people don't know about. They can do. All I got to do
Mm-hmm.
is log on to their bank, and then all those options are there.
Yes.
You do it yourself. So,
Yes.
so when something, I said, when did I order this? And I figure out that's not me. I call the bank right
Right.
away and cancel that. You
Yes.
know, because as long as it's pending, you're able to do something. But once it process out, if I'm right, it's hard to recoup that money back. If you get
That's true.
you get it when it's pending and catch it early. That's why I say put those alerts on your card, on your bank card, so you know. Because I was somewhere. Matter of fact, I let my bank know if I'm going out of the state or out of the country
Mm-hmm.
that I'm using
Mm-hmm.
my car, so I don't get
That's
stuck.
smart.
And
That's
and then when
smart.
I come back, I said I'm back. So
Yes.
I don't know. That's some of the things that I look at. I think people need to look at.
Definitely. And guess what? To you out there who are not computer savvy, who don't know how to do much more than just looking at the dollar amount, go into the bank.
Mm-hmm.
Go inside the bank and ask them to help you. Sit there, sign your name. You actually can even schedule an appointment with the bank online. But go to the bank and have them help you set these things up. I went to the bank and I was just, kind of just, again, this is the beginning of the year. This is the time that you should be getting your credit report. You should be going to maybe try that 7-day trial, get your credit report, get your credit score, and remember to cancel. I just did that. That's one way of staying on top so you can see what if there's any collections on there, if there's any of those things. Then you also go to the bank and see if all your accounts are set up, correctly to the way that it works for you. Maybe your account's been set up since the first time that you opened up the bank, your first bank account. So that's what
Mm-hmm.
happened with me, right? So when I first opened up my bank account with security services. I just got, at that time I just needed to put some money somewhere, needed to set one up so I can get the direct deposit set up at the job. But I also signed up for that power thing where they would give me roadside assistance and all these other things. So they were taking out like $8.99 a month for like 5 years. And I've never used it. It's like something about your phone, all of these things. Guess what? With your phone service, you already have that. I actually had AAA, so I didn't need their roadside assistance. So it's almost like I was paying two people for a service, one that I wasn't even using at all.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even thought to use them because I didn't even have a card to know how to move forward with that. So that's why at the beginning of the year, take this time to say, you know what, I'm going to use this Saturday on my next day off to go and check and sit down and make sure I have everything set up. This right here can save you $25 easy. But let's
Yeah.
just go 8.99 times 12 months, you know. But
Mm-hmm.
just round it up to 10. I would have saved 100, almost a
$120.
$120
Yeah.
pretty much, just by even having that correct. Yeah, I would have saved
Yeah.
$120, rounding up to $10. So I'm saying all these things to say this is me managing my money. So with me managing my money and wanting to know where my money's going, how it's coming in, this is also, like I tell other people, the most important thing that I feel that it also did for me, it gave me the confidence to ask for a raise. It gave me the
Yeah.
confidence to know my worth even more. Like, okay, this job's not paying me my worth. Let me find another job that will, another career, another job, another place to work that will pay me what I need. Or how about I need to lower my monthly expenses because now I'm living like the Joneses and my money is not saying I'm like the Joneses. So those are some things that all while your money habits matter. So you need to adjust them, change them, or at least just confirm that you're on the right track.
Yeah. All right, let's change subjects back to your event. You said
Yes,
you had
yes.
something to share with us?
Yes, I did. I wanted to take a minute because it could not be done without are you able to see my screen? Are you sharing it?
No,
Oh no, I think I have to share it first, my bad. Let's- Um oh, there
you,
we go.
you should be able to share because I.
Here I am.
Okay.
Let me share my screen and I just wanted to take a minute and definitely
There you go.
um Empower Hub would like to first thank everyone who came out to attend. We had over 70 people present, like I said, of all ages. So thank you so much for taking your Sunday up. Especially, I know Jasmine Crockett was in town, so some of you wanted to come, but went to see her as well and other Dream Weeks events. So thank you so much for taking your time to show up. First and foremost, I'd like to thank God for sure, but I also like to thank some of our sponsors who contributed monetarily, as well. So here's our list of our sponsors. Also, everyone who attended and had a table there and shared information. I just truly appreciate you. Also, on here, for some reason, is not Devin Cade. That's a trucking company who helped us transport all of our items in a smooth, very safe way because all of the items were DIY. So his 26 footer was able to get our items there. So where we were able to unload that truck quickly and pack it up swiftly. His team was awesome. So thank you so much for everyone. As you see, Miss Majestic's on there. She provided some wonderful gifts for the people who participated in the Price is Right, and that's what made it exciting as well. And then of course, Dream Week staff and the list on here. I'm not going to read everyone's name, but I just definitely, and if I missed anyone, forgive me. I will ensure that I add it on there. But these are all, and I
Oh,
put you on there, Mr.
I
Gordon. Thank you
see
so much for
there.
allowing us to use your
Thank you.
platform. I appreciate that. This has been I mean, I just couldn't, I can't, without even crying, I just can't express how wonderful. And this all God, that's all I can say, that He put this in me to continue to share this information with individuals. So, and then HEB wasn't on our sponsor list either, right there, and they should have been. They gave us snacks and water, and it was perfect timing because, like I said, when people weren't leaving, when they came, they stayed to the end, and that was the wonderful piece. That's letting me
Yeah.
know that people are really about getting their finances and sharing this information. And we can always learn. I know most people like, oh, I know, I'm a financial person. I already got these things together. With us having this conversation allows us to continue to hear other things that we didn't know. Like you didn't know, most people didn't even know about Project Quest. Most people didn't even know about Mutual Omaha and all the information that she was able to supply. So that's some, as you see on some of the surveys, a lot of people gave credit to them as well of some information that they learned. And she's on vacation right now, but when she come back, I know her voice message is filled right now. And then McDonald's, as I was going to partner with McDonald's, because I know children love McDonald's. I love McDonald's, Happy Meals. I mean, all of that. Love their food. And so I saw this when I was in their store, and I said, I definitely need one of those flyers. Look at them. They give 100% college tuition
Oh
covered. I
yes.
mean, so you used to just think going to McDonald's and slipping a slide. And I worked McDonald's. I worked McDonald's. I worked cashier, drive through, all of that. So, but just to see all the things that they offer, up to $18. Of course, they wasn't paying me that back then, but so I definitely wanted to take that minute and do that. So give them, and then HEB, most importantly, thank you so much. I apologize that they're not on here. And but thank you so much. Thank you everyone who showed up. Thank you Agape Church members who also came in numbers and showed up as well, friends and families, and most importantly, all the people who shared the flyers and then my content about the event on your social media sites. I can't thank you enough. I can't thank you enough. I mean, when I share with you all the surveys of people saying, absolutely, I will return to this. This was
Yes.
great. I learned so much. This was fun. And so, what we're doing right now, Shawnee and I, we are now setting something up to do the same event at Southwest by Southwest in Austin in
Wow.
March. So, yeah, so pretty excited about that. So, I'll keep
Okay.
you posted.
Please do. And after show, I'm gonna call you real quick because I got a couple questions to ask you off air. But other than that, Patricia, fantastic job. I am glad that God find a way for us to get back together again. He always wait and know when it's the right time to do it. And
Really do.
he has showed up and showed out.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
give praise to him. A lot of people need to do that every day. Somebody asked me one day, so what's special about today? I said I woke up.
Amen.
God made the ability for me to wake up in the morning and do the things
Amen.
that I do. But I'm not gonna lie to you, Patricia. Ever since I went on that little vacation
Hmm.
on and the end of December for the New Year's Eve, me and my wife went on
Okay.
vacation.
Okay.
I was so relaxed. I didn't bother the radio station. I set it up to run on its own. And when I came
Mm.
back home, so Monday came in, I had to get up and start the show.
Huh?
I didn't want to because it felt so good not doing anything. So when you go out and you need to take that break sometime, everybody,
Yes.
you need to take that break just to relax and just go
Yes.
somewhere. And I was real relaxed when I came back. I did not know how relaxed I could be. But
Yes.
it also put some things in my head that I need to do. He also told me I need to go out and talk to people more and bring things out there. And I said, okay, so I'm doing it. I'm having fun now, but every once in a
Yes.
while you got to have that break. And
Yes.
sometimes, how can I put it? You need a financial break.
Yes.
You always worry about I need this, and need that. Is it a want? Is it a need? I said you need to take a break from that and just go golf and go chase birds,
Yes.
chase a bus, do something
Yes.
else. Because you need to take that break because you will overwhelm yourself.
Yes, you would. Yes, you would. Yes, you would. And I'm so happy you said that because that's the reason why when you're managing your money, it shouldn't be stressful. What you should do is give yourself grace. Yes, you know you misused your money over time, whether it was last month, over a year. However, long as God wake you up every morning and allow you to have that new breath, you have another chance to do better. And
Yes,
each time that you're able to save and put some money back, that also takes out that stress. And then there's so many free things that you can do out here. So tune into WSAN radio. Tune in to Mr. Gordon because him and Sharon are always sharing free things that you can go do in the community. And these can be date nights. These can be let me step away and get some mental breaks. I am in agreement with having a vacation. I used to take vacations, 3 vacations a year, especially when you're working for highly stressed jobs. Working as a
yes.
child protective service worker, I
Ooh,
needed that. Other than that, I would just internalize all of that, and we don't want that. So I strongly encourage you to do those things. Go on Groupon if you want to. You have some discounted ways on how you can do some fun things. There's so many fun things on Groupon. Go on Eventbrite where you can find wonderful events like mine, where and you can go to. It was free. It was free for you
Mm-hmm.
and your family to come out on a Sunday and something to do. A lot of people walked away and they were like, "Wow, we learned and we had an outing. Oh, we can now go home and eat and go to sleep." So it was just a perfect Sunday for most people. Um, get my budget book. When I tell you Journal to Book Success on Amazon, this is the gateway into what I'm speaking about. And these are those things that can get you what you want at the end of the year. Throughout the year, just by cutting off some of your subscriptions. In the book, I have
Yes.
it quarterly check-ins. Is how did I do with saving? How did I do? Is there any subscriptions that I haven't watched that I need to cut off? Is there anything that I signed up for that maybe I forgot that I'm still being charged for? These are those things that help you save that money. So then when summertime come, or here in San Antonio, summer's like next month, before you know it, there's so many things that's going on. Like we're having Martin Luther King March right now coming on Monday. Do y'all know Coco Jones gonna be there? That's a free concert.
Yep.
I can't wait. I'm marching and I'm going right to the front to see Coco Jones. I mean, those are those ways that you can still have a great time, not be stressed about I don't have the money, but still able to get out. So I wanted to continue to, stress all those things. And yes, step away because true wealth is financial freedom. And that's what I hear that you have, Mr. Gordon. From the very first time that we met, I love that from you saying your wife managing money and you trusting her and how y'all got your different funds and how you got things paid off. I speak to a lot of people and someone who tell me they make $100,000 to $200,000 versus someone tell me they make $60,000 but their home is paid off. That's where it's at. Because you can have $200,000, but you still got the mortgage and this and that.
Mm-hmm.
It's another thing when you don't have a mortgage or a car note, and you're making some good money.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness,
So
you're
it,
rich.
the way you said that, the range you did, 100,000 to 60,000, it seems like the 100,000 is just, excuse my expression, they're just pissing off the money because I got this income coming in. I don't need to save. I got it coming in. Imagine if they could just live off 60,000 and put that 40,000 away every year. Imagine what it would be like when they retire. They have well over $1 million in there to retire on. But the
Yeah,
problem is, we got to get inside their psyche and tell them, don't go on. See, somebody brought this up to me. And I know we're going over, but that's okay. I'll get my own self in trouble. Somebody haven't told me that a person will go out and spend $100 a night in a nightclub, but won't donate $10 to a good cause,
yeah,
that's disturbing. To me it is. I mean, everybody's out there. They want money. I understand that, but if you could blow $100 a night, and the
yes.
weekend is only 2 days, well, 3 days, you count Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, that's
Mm-hmm.
almost $300 that you blew. And then that same money
Yeah,
that you blew, you struggling to pay your water bill.
that part. That part. And you coming home with a crazy headache. That's $1,200. If they did it three for each weekend, that's $1,200 for a month. So
Mm-hmm.
I would tell people like that, cut it down. Just do 150 that weekend. That's
Yep.
it. Because sometimes it's almost like losing weight. We can't jump out the window saying, I'm going to lose all these pounds tomorrow and be thin in next month. No. What
No.
you do is you take baby steps. You maybe cut back the soda. You cut back
Mm-hmm.
certain things. Families, let's start trying to figure out how we can live under one income right now. These are things that we're just continuing. We have to practice. In order before we practice, we have to talk about it.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna bring up something right. Well, first of all, the next time you're on the show, like I'm saying, there is gonna be a next time.
Okay.
I want you to get everything together, and I want to know behind the scenes what it took for you to bring this presentation together, Jeopardy. And I want to know because everybody want to know because it wasn't always unicorns and roses.
Oh no.
There were some trials and tribulations, and
Yes.
if you don't mind, I would like you to let everybody know the struggle that you went through to get this going because nobody never sees what's going behind the scenes. All they see is
Mm-hmm.
that facade up front. It looks beautiful. But
Mm-hmm.
ask what you went through. Ask what it
Yes.
cost to do this. The money
Yes.
is important, what it costs to do something. You did it free for everybody.
Yes.
Now, I would love the next time you're on the show to go into that, if you don't mind.
So great. Look at you, Mr. Gordon. You pictures. This is great. I have it. I have videos. I have it for you. I can't wait.
Yeah, and the lastly, I'm gonna let you know something. Last year I did a fundraiser for the radio station because I needed some equipment because I was robbing Paul and paying Peter. So I was
Mm-hmm.
taking things from the station to go out and do live remotes. Well, last year when I did the fundraiser, I made enough to buy everything I needed, so everything is separate now. So I don't
Hey.
have to turn around and rob from the radio station to go out and do a live remote. I have everything.
Yes.
So I'm doing another fundraiser on March 12th at A Chicago
Okay.
Bite.
Okay.
And that fundraiser going to include in getting new cameras,
Okay.
microphones, a generator, and a new MacBook. Those are the things that this station needs. And so I'm just announcing that our fundraiser is going to be on March 12th.
Well.
Let me get that right. Let me make sure it's not the 12th or the 15th. It's one of those
Okay.
days. I want to make sure
Mm-hmm.
I get it right because somebody going to hold me to say, but you said this date. No, I didn't. I was wrong. It's March 15th.
March 15th.
Yes. So I'm doing a
Oh,
fundraiser.
wow. It's so interesting because that's the day that we're thinking about having the Southwest by Southwest thing, but I'm still going to support.
Okay.
Even if I have to send people there to eat on my behalf.
Yeah, so
So how
those
is it going to be quickly? Is it the percentage of the food's going to go to it, or are we just, how's
no
that happening?
actually I don't have to worry about that because Dr. Cross don't is going to donate to it.
Okay.
She already told me whatever you need, let me know.
Okay.
So we're going to be there, and I asked her. She always told me, Ron, you could use my place anytime you want. But I'm the type of
Awesome.
person I try not to take advantage of
Mm-hmm.
things. And I told her that.
Mm-hmm.
She said, "What you been helping me with, boy? You better come on out here." So that's going to take place March 15th, and so
I have it in my calendar.
okay, so that's what we're doing. This is the first time it's been announced. I just clarified everything with her on the 15th, and she's good.
Awesome.
So when you was talking about finance and do all that, that's just one thing that I want to do
Yes.
to raise money to get this equipment. And and
Yes.
and once I get this equipment, and I mean, I'm just gonna be unstoppable going out doing things for the community.
I know, I can't wait. And I'm just so blessed that I'm part of this journey with you. Please, anytime, call me, I will make it happen. Again, I'm also with Empower Hub, continuing to grow our nonprofit. We're a 501(c). We would like to continue to work with the community and continue to look for other sponsors and partners. Right now, I'm, setting a few things up with a few banks, credit unions, and so forth. If there's anyone out there that would love this to be towards, that can help with their mentor groups, their church groups, I'll be happy. Actually, real quick, while I was making copies at the Office Depot constantly, I gave a minister, which I didn't know he was a minister at the time. I gave a man a flyer and said, "Come check it out." And sure enough, he did, but he waited for a second and he said, "Tell me, why are you doing this?" And then right then he started to speak about, his name was Greg, I think, Eric Payne. And so he's like, "Yes, I have a church in shirts, and I'm talking to my congregation about, about their money and how we need to improve and be educated about our knowledge, not you
Yes.
taking their money." Which I think is great because they're already in a church home. We need to understand these things. It's not all these different things that's going on, like Drewski and stuff. How he
Hmm.
said mega church do all these things. Not every church is out there doing that. They are out here loving their people and watching them work. And I'm a member of Agape Church on Judson, and I do love that Pastor P, he continues to pour out into our community, into our congregation. So
Hmm.
overall, every that's not every church out here, and I do love that we have financial literacy sessions at our church and everything. So there's if you're not talking about this, find someone who is talking about it, because the more you talk about it, the more you want to do. The more you talk about losing weight, hopefully the more you get to
Yes.
losing weight. So don't want to go over anymore, but thank you so much, and I appreciate your time.
Yeah. I'm gonna add one more thing to that. Boy, we're gonna keep on. We're gonna be midnight before we get finished. Uh, I just like to add one thing, saying that the problem is about people saving money. It's really not a problem. It's a start issue. When are you gonna start doing this? Because once you start and understand, you okay. And I just speaking from my heart, I really believe that's part of the problem. When do I start? Where do I start? Where do I start at? And once they get that, the if, ands, and the buts, and they start
Hmm.
saving, it's gonna be a domino effect. They're gonna start feeling
Yes.
good about this. Oh, look at this, especially after the first month, and you notice what you saved in 1 month, and
Yes.
then I tell people, okay, you saved that 1 month, double it for the next
Hmm.
month, and
Yes.
just do that. Then at the end of the year, they say, oh my God, I could have been
Yes.
doing this a long time ago. So
Hmm.
that's what I'm saying. Starting is the hardest part.
That is so true. And get out your own way, if I can add to that.
Mhm.
Because I have a friend, and she told me, so two things happened to Mr. Gordon, and I'm so excited to mention. I brought a few people out of depression during this event, and they told me that later. So I call myself the depression slayer. And then on top of that, through me talking about this constantly, like she would attend my financial literacy classes, a friend of mine, and then she told me, she said, she was like very stickler, her house and everything is paid off, so she has that freed up money, but she wasn't about putting her money into high yield interest savings accounts and so forth. And so over time, she'd hear me talk about it, she'd hear me talk about it. She was in her own way. She got out her own way. She took all her money out her savings, put it in a high yield interest savings account. That's my sister is about to be receiving $2,000 added to her
Ooh.
money. And guess what? She's like, I wish I would have got out my own way years ago, because I would have been getting that $2,000 already. So
Yeah.
just like you said, at the end of the year, when you're going to get so excited about how much you save, so just
Mm-hmm.
get out your own way. That's the first thing. That's where you start. And then last thing, because again, I'm sorry I'm doing this time, but not sorry that I'm promoting myself more as well. I do have a financial literacy class that we do every third Tuesday of the month. I'll put the Zoom link at the bottom of the video, and we'll add that to it if you're okay with that, Mr.
Yes,
Gordon.
I am.
And that's free. We just get on here and we just share information. We as a community need to talk about these things. If you attended the event, one of my friends spoke about her experience with her child's suicide and her experience with life insurance and how she wasn't able to get what she put into because of the
Mm-hmm.
clauses of life insurance. And that's why Mutual Omaha was there educating us about these things. Who knows about these things? Do
Right.
you want it to happen to you and then you find out? Or do you want to learn from someone else and you protect yourself so you don't have to find out in that way?
That's right. That's right. Girl, we could go on for hours. I'm telling you.
Hours.
There's some good stuff going on. So make sure you text me all that information, the links and all that.
For
And
sure.
once I get this edited stuff, I'll make sure it be in there so everybody can see it. And I also put it on my Facebook page. And can you send me your logo?
Yes,
If you
yes,
can send me
yes.
your logo, I got some things I want to do with your logo. One of them, I'm gonna put it on my Facebook page. No, not my Facebook page, but my website,
Okay.
because I would definitely like to partner up with you so we could be
Awesome.
partners and
Awesome.
and
Yes.
get it
Thank you,
out there.
God. Thank you, God.
Because that's one thing we need to do. We with you and some of the other partners I have right now. If you look at all the followers that's
Hmm.
going on, the numbers. Just
Yes.
imagine we get half of those following and doing
Yes.
things. There's nothing that we could not accomplish. We should be able to accomplish anything we go out. Support one another. If you got an
Yes. Build
event going
community.
on, my other partners should be there at your event. If not be there,
Yes.
contribute something to be there, and vice
Yes. Yes.
versa.
Yes.
So if we work
Yes.
together, damn, ooh, God, the stuff we
Yes,
could
because
do.
I also have to plug because of you. I'm on here. I'm going to be. I'm doing my first panel for 2026. with the, of course. So we have to pump her event for sure. Is she going to be on here soon to talk about her event?
Yeah, she'll be on next Wednesday.
Okay,
Coach
I'll let
K.
her do
Coach
all.
K
I'll
should
let
be
her
on
do.
here. And that's the fourth annual wellness fair that's taking
Yes,
place.
I'll let her talk about
And
it.
it's at the Purpose Place at
Yes.
320. I was doing good till I came up with the address. Ramsey. Ramsey Road. That's what it
Yes,
is.
yes. I
It,
got it for you.
yeah.
Yes, 329 East Ramsey Street, San Antonio. It's going to be January 31st, 10 to 3. If you want to meet me there, because you didn't get to meet me at the event, I'm going to be one of the panelists there. I'm going to be excited to meet you. So please come.
And,
Please support her.
and let me tell you, the first time I had Patricia on, Coach K chimed in. She took me right away. I got to have her. She's got to be on my panel. I said, okay, calm down. It'll be okay. And I sent the information that day. And I think y'all talked that day, and everything
That
was
day.
all set up. See, the power of radio and the power of the people. That's what I'm talking
Unity,
about.
community. We do this
Yes.
together. Stop trying
Mm-hmm.
to do it alone. Let's do it together.
Amen to that, sister. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Somebody just, I said, great interview. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. So,
Awesome.
but we'll get together after the 31st, sometime in February, because I want to
Okay.
dig deep into what it took for you to get this event going. Because I think
Yes.
everybody needs to hear exactly the struggles and the heartaches and the
Yes.
blessings. I got to put that in there
Yes.
because even
Yes.
though the struggle and the heartaches came in there, the blessings was not too far
Yes.
behind.
No, it was not.
Yeah.
No, it was not.
All right, Patricia. Thank you for coming on the show this morning. We appreciate
You're
it,
very
and we'll
welcome.
catch you the 31st. I'll see you the 31st out there.
See you on the 31st.
All right.
Everybody, Dream Week. They have more events. Go out.
Have some fun. All right. You
All right.
take
Bye bye.
care, and we will talk to you later.